Hello, YouTube. It is October 26th, 2020, and I'm giving my very first movie review in a long time. I can't remember the last. Matter of fact, I think the last, this is quite ironic. The last movie review that I've gave was actually on hair as well. It was with Sanaa Lathan, where she was obsessed with her hair, having it straight because of internalized trauma when she was a child, with always feeling like she was instilled to always have it straight or whatever. And then one of the children in the salon, she pissed off one of the children, and I think they put relaxer in the shampoo or something, and then all the hair fell out, so she had to get accustomed to wearing wigs, and then she slowly started bracing her short natural hair, and then it went from there. And the child that set her up, she ended up falling in love with her and everything. Almost fell in love with the father of the child, and then ended up going back to that sorry no good doctor at the. But that's not about that review. I'll leave that one down below. But this one, we here to talk about bad hair. And I ain't talking about the stereotypical type 4 hair like they like to try to put us on, those kinky girls, honey. I'm talking about the bad voodoo hair, honey. Yes, just in time for Halloween, we got an old thriller comedy like movie. Y'all know DivaWuan don't do thrill. Don't do horror. It's a horror thriller comedy all mashed up into one. And I typically don't do horror movies. I never watch, American Horror Story for that reason. I can't get into like the gory stuff and stuff. The worst that I've ever watched was Candyman, Chucky, because it's laced with a lot of comedy. Freddy Krueger, Jason. I think a couple of Hills Have Eyes, The Purge, stuff like that. But the other stuff, I can't do it. Like, girl, I'm more into the sci-fi fantasy route. Give me Harry Potter. Give me, something along those lines. But I got into this one, and I said my girl Kelly Rowland, go Kelly, go, go, go Kelly, go. Miss Rowland. Hey, come on through, Miss Rowland. As Miss Sandra, honey. She's channeling 1980s singer Sandra up in this series. This is a period piece dated back in 1989. And she's this Donna Summer. She's playing like a Donna Summer-ish like character in the 80s, old dance R&B like artist, honey. It was giving me all the good vibes, honey. Matter of fact, it was giving me very much equivalent to her current song that she has. Crazy. Got me so crazy. Crazy in love with you. I know the song don't go nothing like that, honey, but hell, I listen to it nonetheless, honey. Kelly, I be supporting you more than your stands do. They be trying to shade you to big up Beyonce, but I'm one of the few people that did actually support your shit. I'm actually going to buy it. Also, I'm going to buy it this weekend as well. So, that's that. But right now, as far as Miss Sandra, Sandra is the featured artist throughout. She's the 1980s, singer with the good weave. This is the innovative weave that's undetectable. It's not your grandma's wig, all this, that, and the third. And the main character throughout this is called Anna Blutso, who is played by the actress Elle Lorraine. So I'll put their pictures over here. Yeah, so who in the hell is calling me? Every freaking time, y'all. If y'all ain't been watching me over the course of these years, I always get a phone call, a knock on the door, or a phone on the other phone, y'all. But anyways, back to the story. Yeah, she's played by Anna Blutso. 30-year-old corporate America trying to rise to the top, but she got this type 4C short hair that is not aesthetically pleasing, because once again, just because of the texture, granted, her hair was somewhat looking a mess as well. So it's like girl, you could have styled your shit up a little bit more. Like, I will give them this. Girl, your shit was looking like buckwheat. And this is coming from a type 4 natural, so don't take this as darn gone hateration, honey. Yeah, granted that I got a little bit of fucked up 3C up in here because my shit ain't good here. My shit darn gone giving George Jefferson tease a little bit, so I mean, yeah, it's giving George Jefferson tease. But anyways, your hair's full all over except for the one part in the back that was burnt up as a child by your sister. She tried to pull a relaxer in your hair. So we see y'all as kids. And I don't know who played the children version of y'all. Oh, wait a minute. They say right here, young Linda was played by Karain Messiah. But I want to say that was your older sister right there when she was a young one. Okay, young Anna was played by Zaria Kelly. So those are the shout outs for them. Zaria Kelly. She tried to get a relaxer put in her hair, did not work out that way. She had a allergic reaction. Her hair ended up looking like a chopped up texturizer. You know, some straight, some wavy. And then she got a big old scab in the back to this day. So when she grew up, the big Anna, honey, still tiny, you know, played by Elle Lorraine. She still had that part in the back, and she's been tender-headed ever since. Ain't let nobody touch her hair, and Lord knows it shows, honey. Now, you coming from this darn gone rich, proud, black darn gone family, honey. You got your father played by none other than Blair Underwood. Some of us may know him for being the sexy love interest to Jada and Set It Off. And then some of us may know him as the abusive husband to Kimberly Elise and darn gone, not Diary of a Mad Black Woman, but it was the other one. It was the other one. I can't think of it, but it's not the one. It's not the big lip guy that was, you know, paralyzed and, you know, she slammed him in the tub. It's the other movie. I can't think of it. It was the other sister as well, darker skin, about 2 shades darker than me, or about around my same complexion, but different undertone. But she had a taller sister, and he was very abusive. And then Medea had to tell her about playing grit ball. So yeah, I remember Blair Underwood in that one, and then Lynn Whitfield trying to play the mother that's trying to sell off her darn gone daughter in regardless of knowing all this shit. But yeah, those who the ones play the daughter. Then you got LeVron Cox, who's the hairstylist. So after, you know, they find out that management is changing over because they working at this darn gone place called Culture, which is corporate America, but they get the channel. It's almost like In Living Color, in living color, in living color. But then they got an old high yellow sister. They replaced old soul sister with the dreadlocks. Soul sister, Judah Sequoia. Honey, played by Judah Scott, honey. They darn gonna replace old Judah Scott, honey, with none other than high yellow white passing Vanessa Williams. And she came in with the old whitewash ass, honey, trying to whiten things up. Told one of the girls she needed to change her look, and it would be the one with the afro. Not the main character, but it was somebody else. The one that was known for rocking her shit the most. I think this is her right here, Alex Marshall Brown. I think that's her real name. It doesn't show me what her character was on the show, but yeah, they was trying to get her to darn gone. Oh hell, y'all! I was doing good. My darn gone thing closed up on me. I was reading the names off of my darn gone computer because I'm bad with knowing all these. Because it's a very big cast, y'all. It's like 20 some people in all. So it started off with them. Bad hair cast. But yeah, it started off with them in the office finding out that management has changed over to Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams immediately started implementing her whitewash version of change. You know, her character is called Zora. Um, you got Lena Waithe in there, who her character is Brooklyn. So they find out everything is changing over. You know, then she has a private meeting with the main character, Anna. So then she says, you know, I might make you the head director. You know, I might give you like a hosting role if you do something with that hair. So she goes to she goes to her mama. And Lord knows I don't know who played her mama, honey. Because once again, this is a very large. I'm scrolling through the names to see if I can find her image. Is it Michelle Hurd? Maxine? Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, I don't know why I didn't recognize her. Oh my, she done changed over the years. I remember her from darn gone Charm and Law and Order SVU. I don't know why I didn't recognize her at first. But yeah, this was her mother, light skin, whatever. I remember her when she played the demon on Charm, and then when she played on Law and Order SVU the very first season. She got a loan from my mama for $500. She went down to the haute couture darn going sew-in place where, you know, LeVron Cox's character is sewing it in, and it looks like, you know, he was sewing the scalp. Like, you could see that the hair was cinching in literally within the skin of the scalp. I'm like, what the hell? No wonder you darn gone crying in damn pain. I'm like, oh Lord, was they really sewing the scalp and shit back in the day? Lord, gee. Or was this just for the you know, the horror part of it? Because I hate to think that they were sewing scalps back in the day, like the needle was going into the darn on skin. I'm like, okay, this got to be, you know, where the voodoo comes in. And, you know, this is just piquing my interest even more because during this time, you know, the father was mentioning about the moss people and all this, about the witches who energy was tied to the hair and all this. And, you know, my Carolinian ass, you know, it piqued my interest because, you know, coming from a practitioner family, you know, of North Carolina, you know, this is about up my alley. Although I ain't never heard about, you know, the moss people with the hair and all that. I knew of it in Indian culture, not necessarily African culture in regards to hair. Although a little bit, but I know you can put a root on somebody if you get a hold to their hair. But I ain't heard about, you know, witches taking control of people's bodies through the form of hair and all that. Like, that's really putting the 20 on 10. Like I said, their interpretation of, you know, the paganism or whatnot. But, you know, I digress. Moving on, you know, so she's sitting there in pain, getting her darn on scalps on. But with this darn on newfound hair, she chose from all the seeds of different brands and colors and textures and all this. And, you know, everything's going good. Hairs are turning when she's coming in the office, everything. You know, she can't get the hair wet at all. And I'm thinking, well, shit, how long did they take to educate them on the fact that, you know, you do post at least get it, you know, washed, you know, between the net or whatever. But, you know, this probably how it was back in the day. I can believe that they was taught early on not to wash their hair because some of the girls still do that shit to this day. When you get a sew-in, you technically can still get your hair darn gone wash. You can darn go between. You go to your cosmetologist. They, you know, they put the shampoo between the net and they wash your braids and all that, and they make sure it's dried so you don't get no mildew because, you know, darkness, warmth, and time can create bacteria mildew underneath the hair. And that's the excuse that a lot of girls like to say. That's why they don't wash their hair. But no, that's you being cheap because you can go to the stylist and they know how to properly wash your hair with the sew-in in, where it doesn't mat up the hair and your real hair is still being hydrated underneath the hair. You can't have your sew-in upwards of a month without fear of breakage, your hair feeling, you know, deprived of air, because number one, that you're still supposed to have some ventilation with the darn on sew-in. The hair is still being fed its nutrients and stuff. You're washing it. you're putting your oils between and all that. You still taking care of your hair. The only thing is you're not manipulating it, which actually works to your advantage because less manipulation with textured hair, means less propensity for it to break. Just my beautician darn gone facts of the day. But moving on. LeVron Cox, honey, said not to darn gone wash it at all. Put the cheap darn gone pink shit up in there. And I'm imagining this pink shit was their equivalent to darn gone pink lusters that all the black folks grew up on. So, yeah, they version of pink lusters that she got to put in the darn gone wig or whatever to keep it up. And I'm like, after a while, that shit's gonna look greasy, ain't it? So she can't get it wet or anything. I'm like, well, damn. Nowadays, you would want to least lightly miss it if you got a little wave or something. But, she got to stick thin, straight hair. Okay, it is what it is, child. It is what it is. But, yeah. So, first few days are going good. Meanwhile, the darn on landlord still, or as she called it, Mr. Tenant. I'm like, ain't this a darn misnomer? The irony of the misnomer. I'm like, bitch, you the damn tenant. Why are you calling him Mr. Tenant? Do they do that up north, honey? Talking about Mr. Tenant. That threw me off the whole darn episode. I'm like, he's knocking on the door asking for rent, so I'm assuming he's the landlord, or in this case, judging by that apartment you was in, you could have called him the slumlord, like my damn motherfucking slumlord, honey. And I'm about to darn go to another slumlord in a few days. I done already scouted out the darn neighborhood, honey, just to get away from this darn demon that I'm with right now. I wish I could work an old nasty root up on her motherfucking ass, but that's a whole nother video for another day. We'll have a live stream about that demon. But here we talking about the demonic witch's hair of bad hair. But yeah, I was like, well, damn, you calling the darn landlord Mr. Tenant. He's banging on the door. He looks at your darn newfound hair like, oh, bitch, you got darn new hair, but you ain't got my motherfucking money. And she tried to persuade her, talking about, well, I got your money, right? And she tried to go and give him a little sum of money. Next thing you know, he done slid up in the motherfucking darn in the room trying to get him some. And we find out later, this ain't his first time on his perversion type shit. He was going to take him some black cookie, honey. And darn going, as she was trying to, say, well, let's put on some music, honey. Put on some Partition, please. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wait a minute. This is a period piece. So this is 1989. So instead of Partition, we was going to put on some Madonna, some Janet Jackson, some Donna, 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 Donna Summer. Donna, Donna Summer. Honey, so she faking like she was about to turn the music on. She was trying to go for that blade up in her darn between the panties or whatnot. But honey, white slouchy dude peep game and slammed her to the bed and was commencing to darn pull them panties to the side and darn put that 5.5 inch peck up in her, honey. And in the midst of the doing that, honey, her eyes started flickering green or whatnot. And flashback to when we first see Sandra, when she first got this weave in. At the end, we seen Sandra come in and her eyes was looking wild and green and her hair was big. And they said that they was trying to go for a Diana Ross-like look. But honey, we find out later something ain't clean in the butter with Sandra. And we starting to find out now with darn old girl, and about to get her cookies took. And next thing you know, the hair darn started darn clawing and darn the hair grew and reached and got the darn glass and broke the glass, right? No, got the glass and put it in her hand, and the hair snapped the glass, and next thing you know, she done stabbed them over and over again with the darn oh, wait a minute, no, I'm going too far. No, I want to say she did that to the white man too. I do believe that. I want to say she also did the same thing with the white man, except this time it was the hair that, grabbed onto the glass and stabbed him. And then the hair started feeding up on the blood. And then it's like, okay, now she threw the body in the trash. Ain't nobody seen shit. I guess this was before cameras or anything. And the next day they find his darn on body in the trash that's directly underneath her darn on window view. But she's several floors up, so there's a couple other windows that could have been, could have did the same thing. But yeah, one of the people come out and talked about, served him right. He rape his ass. I was like, oh, she done had her cookies darn gone too, honey. Maybe it would have fared well if she had some voodoo hair to darn gone off them off early, honey. And then the other girl was talking about how he was old, sorry, slumlord, and all this, that, and the third. So ain't nobody like the landlord. So ain't nobody feeling no type of sympathy for his ass. So he's just gone, honey. Old Mr. Tennant is darn gone down at the darn gone dumps, honey, literally. Body in the dumps and body in hell, spiritual body in hell, baby. Moving on. So we just gonna act like ain't nothing happened. Days going on. I want to say she got a period. This might have been before, the killing. I'm going all over the place, y'all. But yeah, she had a period. She went to get a pad, and the hair just grew down and started drinking from the coot cat. I was like, what the world? Honey, the moment that shit happened, she should have been trying to cut that darn on hair out then. But I guess it's a good thing she didn't, because we find out later on, honey, the hair wouldn't have darn gone allowed her to no damn way. But she later on finds out that she ain't getting a promotion for the job. It gets passed over to her darn on ex-boyfriend who was also working there. And darn gonna dump her to darn gonna hook up with Vanessa Williams, who is the newfound, head owner of the culture, honey. And this is played by Jay Farrell. So he played Julius. Julius darn gonna call himself trying to upgrade to the boss, honey. And that didn't work out too far later on. Fast forward to the party. And the executive, the real white men and stuff that really owned everything, they liked it darn gone Anna more than Julius, honey. Because, the guys, they might be gay, but, honey, they wasn't down with the swirl. Or, Julius might not have been down with the swirl. So, they's like, okay, you can darn gone freak darn gone Vanessa all you want to. But we the ones that really pull the strings. And we find out they really pulled more strings than one at the end of the episode. So James Van Der Beek, honey, who played Grant Mattis, honey, he darn gonna end up giving her, possibility for the show. And that later on broke up darn on Vanessa Williams and darn going Jay Farrell's darn on happy union. Julius and darn going Zora. Needless to say, old girl, the former darn on head owner comes back to see how everything's going, and she's walking around the building, and she's darn on looking like, must be nice, must be nice, and darn on giving her the third degree, talking about, I see you already trying to transform and all this. You trying to appease and all this. And she was like, bitch, you wanted to talk. I've been here 4 years and you ain't never offered me the shit. Now you want to be on your black hostility, this, that, and the third. Honey, needless to say, that demon came out of darn on Anna again. And upon old girl exiting, Judah Scott, Etna, she led her to the door. Now, didn't tell the girl that area is under construction, so we don't know what ever happened to her. Well, I'm assuming, she met a tragic fate or whatever, going down them steps or whatnot, because we ain't seen her no more alive throughout the rest of the show. I think when they all turned into zombies, I don't recall even seeing her then. I'm like, well, damn, what the hell happened to darn on Etna's damn character, honey? She went into that darn on stairwell, ain't came back, honey. Honey, so fast forward towards the end of the darn on show, honey. After the boyfriend, Julius tried to get some from her. And, she goes over there. And next thing you know, the hair done did an old voodoo spell again, honey. She darn gone laying it up on him, honey. Laying on me, laying on me, laying on me. Honey, you know, Kelly Rowland, you should have put some of your music up in there. You know, your music ain't in heavy rotation like that. Honey, for all these darn on fans that they say they prefer your music over Beyonce, honey, I can't tell, but I digress, honey. Uh, but you know, my marketing ass would have darn on put that darn on song of yours up in here, honey. I know it's supposed to be a period piece, but honey, even Underground threw in some darn on Kendrick Lamar up in there. You know, we could break the rules every now and again. And for your music career, you could have broke the rules, honey, and put a little bit of lay it up on me up on there. Lay it on me, lay it on me, lay it on me. So she laying down the cookie on Julius, right? And next thing you know, she flipping and twisting, and you know the succubus coming out. The hair is growing long, and next thing we know, that hair done. You know, this time her arm grabbed the glass, and the hair shattered it, and she just stabbing them over and over and over again. And by the time she comes to, honey, now Julius dead. And the hair's feeding up on the darn on blood, honey. I said, oh, shoot. She then runs and meets darn on Vanessa, and honey find out Vanessa's hair was darn on the same thing. Now, remember, at the very beginning of the movie, I ain't tell y'all this part. At the very beginning, when she offered, the recommendation to go to LeVron Cott's salon, to get the hair or whatever, she just need $500. We started seeing that her hair was moving throughout the beginning of it. And we didn't, most people didn't pay it no mind. Anna didn't pay it no mind, but the hair was, moving slightly, and it wasn't no wind or nothing. And that was a tell that her shit was demonic. Now come to find out that, her hair done killed some people, and they trying to match up who hair killed what. And then Vanessa said, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm going to finally cut it out. Honey darn on Anna tried to warn her as what's her character called? I keep wanting to call her Vanessa Williams by her real name, but I'm trying to stick with as Zora. Vanessa Williams' character, Zora. And she tried to get them scissors, honey. The hair done gone ahead and wrapped up around her. Done lifted her up 10 feet in the air. Done snapped the neck. She done fell down. Now darn gone, she dead. She dead. Oh, honey. The morning was short-lived because, honey, by the next day, they done offered Anna the darn on hosting position. They needed a host. Vanessa done disappeared. Her body can't be found. I was like, well, damn, where'd the body go? She done snapped dead. But now we find out the hair done took her over, honey. They said in the darn on book, honey, she ran out and called the sister on the payphone. Call me on the payphone. It only costs 50 cents. Honey, she done put them 50 cents up in the darn on phone and had her sister read her the darn on story talking about, I need you to read me a bedtime story to take me to sleep. And found out more about the darn on tale of the darn on hair or whatnot. And I don't know why you ain't darn on ask your father at no point in time about this, considering that he's truly into the African spirituality and all this. He probably could have told you to darn on dip the hair in water a long time ago. Hold on to that. So, so we go through the rest of this darn on show of her darn on hosting, and then next thing we know, she sees, now Vanessa Williams, Zora, that are pulled up in the audience. Nobody can't see her but Anna. And then afterwards, she's trying to tell her later on, her assistant, that she's seen, Zora at the darn on, when she was doing the hosting. And then she seen her later from afar in her office. And then as the assistant tried to tell her, well, it's something I need to tell you. Next thing we know, here comes the comedy / horror. This was some goofy shit, like scary movie shit all throughout. It was horror, but it wasn't like scary horror. It was comedic horror all throughout. The darn on hair grabbed the assistant up, snatched her back in the damn door, and darn on closed the door. Next thing we know, Vanessa Williams, a zombie, trying to come after her. She's running all over. Everybody now zombies. And then she runs into darn going old girl, Brooklyn, who's played by Lena Waithe, the lesbian character, the lesbian actress. So she almost ready to take her out. She was like, wait a minute, I ain't one of them. I just had to pretend or whatnot. So now both of them running, trying to darn on escape. And then as they darn gonna run to escape, then they run into somebody else. Who was the one that finally took darn on Brooklyn out? It wasn't Vanessa Williams that, it wasn't Zora that took Brooklyn out. It was one of the other girls. They came off the elevator and they thought she was normal. Next thing you know, honey, snatch darn on, poor darn on Brooklyn up, honey. So now it's just her. She's trapped in this room. She's on her Queen Latifah. She's saying, oh, fuck it. I'm about to go. Let me darn gonna get one last smoke in. So she laying on the floor. She's in this darn on room with this darn on, 2-inch glass that's is about to be busted by the darn on hair trying to get through to her. And, she light a cigarette, right? And she's smoking a cigarette or whatnot. And then she finally look up and sees the darn on sprinkler. She sees the sprinkler, and for whatever reason, she finally gets the idea to darn on light the darn on sprinkler, up, and then the water falls down, and then it casts out the demonic energy of not only her hair, but all of Vanessa's hair that came through at that moment to try to grab her. So then that's the end of that. Oh, I forgot. One more. I forgot. We jumping all over the place. But before that, she did try to get it removed early on. Yeah, okay. I lied. I knew I was forgetting something. Y'all remember when I said what happened to the other girl that used to be the owner of Culture, played out by Judah Scott? I now knew what happened to her. She went to the natural salon to try to get the shit removed. That's why she knew to tell Vanessa, Zora, not to cut the hair. Because when she tried to go to the salon to get the hair cut, she had the natural stylist there, and she met up with darn Judith, not knowing that she went to the same stylist. And they was trying to have a heart-to-heart, and then she was, as the stylist went to cut her hair, honey, the hair darn went and cut her. And then old girl, Judah tried to run away. She dropped dead. And then the other person, it was three other people there in the salon that done got snapped by the hair. So now she done killed 3 more bodies. So now by the time she got to Vanessa, Zora, she done already killed. She done killed the boyfriend, the Mr. Tenant, and the 3 darn on people in the salon, including, the former owner of darn Culture. So that's when that conversation happened about the hair. And then, later on, Vanessa darn got killed by her own hair, Zora, and she done turned evil. So we get to this moment where now the water darn spraying down from the darn room, and it done took out the demonic energy from her hair and everything. And then she finally gets the hair taken out. So now it's the end. And surprisingly, she ain't told her sister nor her father about any of this darn ordeal. It wasn't until the end of the darn movie where her sister said she finally got a spot at the such and such salon, the same salon that she went to. And she didn't catch on until about 2 minutes, like a minute or so later. And then she runs to go get her sister. And that's the end of that. Meanwhile, we still don't know what happened to Kelly Rowland, because Kelly Rowland wasn't one of the damn zombies that was in there that was trying to kill her ass. So I'm trying to figure out even if you darn protect your sister from not going to the darn salon, honey, you still got Kelly Rowland, Sandra out there with the darn crazy hair. You got Laverne Cox down there still sewing in voodoo hair and people. So is you going to darn report her and darn get the darn hair burnt up, or drenched in some water, because I don't think fire is going to do too much to it. But that's that. I guess there might be a part 2 that might go into details about what happens next. I don't know. But yeah, that was Bad Hair in a nutshell. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts. It was very interesting. I liked it overall. It was a little good, comedic darn on horror movie. I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. So I think some stuff could have been a little bit more, you know. Like once again, I wonder why she didn't, involve her father into this at no part during the movie, considering that he knows the most about this stuff. Why did she think to, try to get the hair wet early on? Like, it was little stuff like that I just had to take. Yeah, and I still can't get over her calling the darn on landlord Mr. Tennant. Like, what, is that a New Yorker thing? Like, so outside of that little stuff, I give it 3.5 out of 4 stars. I mean, out of 5 stars. So, what are y'all thoughts? Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.